Hey guys, my name is John. I'm a Christian. I am going to be teaching you guys a little bit of technical privacy wisdom. The world is getting crazy, as you guys know, and criminals and government government criminals use the internet to track people down and things like that. So I want to help Christians avoid the main traps of that. Uh, since I've dealt with that recently. So let's go. Hey guys, so first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the importance of a VPN. This is the first thing you're going to need if you want to start being private on your phone. So when you get on the internet, your IP is broadcasted to everybody pretty much. Your phone, that's connected to you when it goes to different sites like YouTube and everything. You're just pretty much broadcasting, hey, this is me. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to this site and this site. And yeah, it's just very obvious, and that's how people track you and gather information on your habits and adware and stuff. They suggest to you, uh, things to buy and everything, and this is how ads track you. This is how criminals can track you. That's how the government tracks you. If you are just using your phone to just do everything, you're just building a profile on yourself. So get a VPN. Point number two. Make sure you use if you're just gonna be, say, if you're gonna use it in social media, you can use something like this for an email. You can use something like this. It provides you with a temporary email address that you can check and everything. Be it only it's temporary, so only like for the day. So I guess you could lose your social media account, but something I will say is you have to be very careful about where you leave your email, where you leave your phone number. You definitely don't want to have your real email and your real phone number. You got to find some sort of way to get some burners, because the reason why is, let me show you. The reason why is stuff like this. You see this? Reverse phone lookup, national phone number registry, reverse phone lookup, blah, blah, blah. There's a ton of these sites. What these do is, all you have to do is enter somebody's phone number in, their email, their name. You can enter in all of them, or you can just enter in like one, maybe one or two. And you can essentially find out their family, their address, the rest of this information. Like if you enter in their phone, you can find out their name, email, address, right? All they need is your phone number, or all they need is like your Gmail that you always use. And very quickly, who you are, who your family is, everything will be traced back to you. And you don't have to be a hacker to do this. You just have to be somebody with bad intentions. Or maybe like a reality TV show like Catfish. I don't know if you knew this, but that TV show Catfish that was on MTV, they use a software like this. I don't remember the exact site, but it advertised. It was advertising that they were the ones that the TV show Catfish used to look up who they found. They used just this regular site. It's not hard to use. Anybody can use it, but it's very dangerous. So if you have all your info, your real info, on social media, if a bad guy sees you on social media, say like a some terrorist group ends up coming to the United States, or some cartels start taking over certain areas in the United States and they don't like you, and they say, oh, we're going to kill you and your family. Well, all they have to do is go to one of these sites and they can actually figure out who you are, who your family is, right? So don't keep that on your social media. Don't keep that out there. Make sure you guard that information and get it offline. But back to VPNs and VPNs and stuff. What a VPN does, yeah, it hides who you are online, right? But that doesn't help very much if, when you go back to your homepage, these apps that you use are communicating, like snitching on you, like talking. I call it just snitching. They're just snitching, bro. Like Firefox, WhatsApp, all these apps, they say somebody wants to hack you, right? Or somebody wants to find out information about you, and they want to they want to yeah, just get information, what you're looking up, get what you're uh figure out what you're talking about on WhatsApp, or what you're texting about, what kind of phone calls you're making, blah blah blah. I digress. All they have to do is send a little hacky code to one of these apps here, and the hacky code will talk back to that person, right? And what a firewall does is, essentially, people think firewalls is that they're just to keep people out. No, a firewall will keep your apps from talking back out. So somebody online, the government, whoever, whatever, communicates with your apps. Say they want to communicate with this basic note taking app. This has happened to me before. Not this specific app, but a note taking app, because for some reason the app communicated with the internet. It makes no sense why an app where you take notes should be communicating with the internet. But I was able to see the telemetry, right? I was able to see the code, and it was speaking out. And look, you may have sensitive information, intellectual property in your notes, very personal things, right, that you don't want people knowing. So what a firewall would do in that situation is, you can choose what apps talk to the internet and what apps don't. And if one of the apps try to talk to the internet, it will alert you, and you can confirm or deny that communication. If you're not using an app, there's no reason that that app should be talking to the internet. If you're not using Facebook, why is Facebook communicating something about you from your phone? It shouldn't be communicating. It just shouldn't, right? But you'd be surprised how much these apps of yours communicate information about you. It's constant. And I'm going to show you that later. But what you want to do is you want to get a firewall to ensure that the apps that are talking the apps that are talking are, shut up. They're not talking. And unless you're using it, and then they have a reason to communicate with the internet. I hope that makes sense. Now, something else you're gonna have to do. This is a little bit tedious. If you want to be secure, right? If you don't want people looking at everything you're doing, you got to go to your apps. You got to go to each individual app in your phone, and you have to uh, look at the permissions. Make sure there's no weird permission like location. That's what you have to be worried about. Location, or say um, microphone. There's no reason certain apps should have access to your microphone, or there's no reason certain apps should have access to your to. Let's see if I can find some more. This one, yeah, not allowed. This one's not too pushy. Uh, this one's probably gonna be pushy. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's because I deactivated it. Let's see. Um, yeah, there's no reason certain apps should have access to your camera, your location, nearby devices. You gotta watch that one. Uh, your phone, things like that. And if they do have access to these things, you have to understand. You have to know that they're using these things, because what these apps will do is they'll use these different features without you knowing. Like, oftentimes you'd be surprised that this is the case, but if somebody is tracking you, they'll just wait until you're sleeping. It's very simple, but they'll just wait until you sleep, and then they'll start messing with your phone. Or I guess whoever is like running the telemetry, I think they do this as well. So just you have to go through every app. Something you have to be mindful of is uh, you have system apps. Hold on. Huh. Okay. Yeah, it's a little harder to find now, but the system apps. If you want to find your system apps, you go here. You can go to special access, and you can go to change system settings, and that's one way to find these system apps, I suppose. But yeah, like device keystring, easy one hand, iComfort Shield. These are system apps. You have to get into these as well. Oh, I guess this isn't a way. I don't know. There's a way. This is different for this phone, but there's a way to get into your system apps and actually mess with permissions on those as well. And that's what you're gonna have to do just to make sure everything's in order, not collecting data where you don't want data collected. So yeah, so go for that. All right. So yeah, you gotta do that. Get that stuff turned off. Another thing that you need to do, um, go online and I'm sorry, not online. Go in your settings, right? Everything that I just told you about doesn't mean a thing if you have this activated. I'm going to show you what they are. I don't know why this isn't talked about. All your security gurus and stuff, they like you follow them and you think you know how to be secure and whatever. But nobody talks about this. Like they're so smart, but they don't talk about this. Every security practice that you have on your phone, encryption, you know, VPNs, all that stupid stuff. Doesn't You're gonna have problems, right? Well, if you're trying to be really anonymous, right? You're gonna have problems if you have these activated on your phones. I don't know why they would give the option for these to be deactivated. To be honest with you, um, I'm sure the government's behind a lot of these. There was actually I had one. These are trusted routes, by the way. I had one that said the government. That was one of these routes. But anyways, these are trusted credentials, right? Trusted CA security credentials, or security certificates, trusted CA credentials, whatever you want to call them. Uh, what they essentially do is, oh, and the Holy Spirit led me here, by the way. When I was in that dangerous situation that I mentioned earlier, uh, and people were tracking me to kill me, probably it's definitely not as intense now, uh, for the time being. But Holy Spirit led me here and shut these off. What these do is they verify. It's so great because it verifies uh, that websites are like the correct website, right? So if you go to a Google website or Amazon website, it would verify that that is the correct website, and that's all well and great. It's just awesome, except for the fact that every single one of these potentially can pull up everything that's going on your phone virtually and just watch everything you're doing, and they have direct root access to your phone. So the root of your phone is as the name suggests, it's the most inward part of your phone. Like they can that's how your phone is controlled. That's the deepest part of your phone your phone software, hardware, whatever. I guess you'd say it's part of the hardware. Uh, but yeah, it's very, very deep part, right? If you get to the root of somebody's phone, you can completely take it over and put it into something called factory mode, and you can factory reset it. You could do whatever you want. And if you have one of these root authorities, right, you can just monitor what people are doing, potentially. And that's what's happening with me. I did all this stuff, and somehow people were still tracking me somehow. And the Holy Spirit led me here. I did some research on it, and I found out what they were. And if you have these activated, then you're not really private. You're private until somebody wants to find you. And if there's a hacker, they can plant one of these security certificates or whatever, and then they can watch what you're doing in real time on your phone. They can pull up this phone on their computer and just watch everything you're doing, what you're typing, everything. Okay. So they have something like this. This is also on your laptop, and I just found out what it's called on the laptop. It's actually called SSL preferences on your laptop. On your phones, it's just called CA certificates. You can just look up certificates in your settings. It's usually in the security part of your settings. You'll find it. And the problem is, right, you want these off, but the problem is if you turn them all off, then immediately you'll get hacked. Like, I guess they want to have you believe that I'll talk about this more another time. I'll talk about this in another video. All right, so that's it for now. See you in the next video.